Alright.
Good afternoon, and fall is upon us. I made a video in a while, and I don't know when I'll make the next one after this. My time schedule has been really convoluted as of late, so it'll be when it is, and that's all the best I can say about it. But today I have time. I'm going to take time to do it. I have Isle of Skye 12. Now, we covered the Isle of Skye 8. We covered the Isle of Mist 8 and the Isle of Mist 12. This is the Isle of Skye 8. Go ahead and get it poured. And I'm going to pour a little bit of that just to kind of give a small little comparison contrast as we go through this. For inquiring minds, I guess. It is a screw cap, whereas the Isle of Mist 12 was not. It was a cork. But anyway, both the Isle of Mist and the Isle of Skye 8s, I get the product for what they are. $18.99 I paid for that one. This one here I paid $29.99 for. And this one's been open quite a while, actually. So we're looking at the better part of a year or more, really more, since it's been open. But I've enjoyed it on and off a little bit as we go. But it's one of those things that I have a lot. I can't get everything. So that's neither here nor there. I'll read you the back a little bit, as this is a Isle of Skye is the home of the Clan MacLeod and the most celebrated of the Scotland's islands, famous for its majestic scenery and heritage rich in historical legend and romantic adventure. Our founder, Ian MacLeod, was justifiably proud of his family's unique 19th century recipe for acclaimed Scotch whisky. True to MacLeod's original recipe, Isle of Skye contains an exceptionally high proportion of distinctive island and mellow Speyside malts, matured for 12 years in oak casks, and is deliciously smooth whiskey. Oh, wait a minute, I'm sorry, I got ahead of myself. 12 years in oak casks, that's where I left off, before being blended together and left to marry. The result is a deliciously smooth whiskey of renowned quality and remarkable character. It doesn't say anything about coloring, so we assumed it is colored, and we assume it is chill filtered, as we always do when it's in such a thing. It doesn't tell us this is a blended Scotch whiskey, not a blended Scotch malt. So, man, there's a lot of noise going on in the background distance. We assume this is, what am I saying? Back up. We don't know how much malt versus grain whiskey is in this. So we know it's a blend. A lot of blends around 20 to 30% in there. So some are higher than others. This one I'm unsure of. It does not list. Does not know. Anyway, enough of that. And I wonder if this has the same kind of. Yes, the same thing. This one says virtually almost the same thing on the back, except it says for more than 8 years. So anyway, let's get down to it. Let's cover it. It is about 65 degrees out. It's comfortable. It's really nice. Sunshine feels excellent. Trees have lost most of their leaves, not all. The apples and the raspberries are strong in this one. Oh my gosh. It also has an earthiness. And an ever so faint smoky quality to it. I'm not going to say peaty quality in this case, I'm going to say smoky quality. It also brings a little bit of earthy note to it. It smells sweet. We have a sweetness component, but what it is off the nose, I have a hard time saying. And ever so much a hint of chocolate in there. I don't notice the grain on the nose. I'm looking for a corn note or some sort of grain whiskey note, and some sort of barley sugar note on the nose, and I don't get that with this one. Let's go down to the palate. Sorry for the background noise if the thing picks this up. They're apparently doing some road work up the street somewhere because I can hear a bucket loader doing its job. I know that sound anywhere. Definitely more chocolate on the palate. The graininess does show up on the palate. It's not light, fresh grain like you get in other useful whiskeys. It's not like that. But there's a definitive grainy malty note. Well, grain whiskey note sitting in there. It has a malty note backing it up, but that's nothing to do with the grain whiskey note in this case. There's some vanilla there. Still getting apples. Not noticing the berries so much. Still has that chocolate flavor though. It's a light milk chocolate. See if I can try to figure out the sweetness in it. A light brown sugar. It's not honey. It does not come across as honey. Definitely matured in bourbon barrels. I'm getting that vanilla. I'm also getting just a touch of light brown sugar to go along with everything. It wraps up with a nice tangy sweetness on the sides of the tongue. Finishes very well with that. That's good. I don't mind it. What to score it though? Very drinkable. I don't care for the lasting tanginess on the tongue though. That's alright if it's there and then it dissipates. This tends to last a little longer. And it's, I think in this case, it's connected to the grain whiskey. Just every bit so slight sourness to it as well. A little more dark fruit. And this is all on the finish now. We're well into the finish. There's some dark fruit showing up now. We're kind of out of that fresh apple raspberry that we get on the nose. But the apples do stay through it all. But now think of dried red apples. Dried. Not figs. Dried dates. Little raisins, not much. So we may be seeing some influence, because I don't know, it doesn't talk about caskins. And then it just says Speyside in there. Mellow Speyside malts, matured for 12 years. Distinctive Island and Mellow Speyside malts. So there may be a little, it's all in the finish too. There's a subtle hint of maybe a little dried date in there, maybe dried raisin. And that may be coming from a small amount of sherry casks involved in this. It doesn't really hit you up front though. That's very drinkable whiskey. I don't think I gave the ABV. This is 43% alcohol by volume. What is this one? And this one's 43 too, which is nice. They're giving us 3% more than most average ones you get. All right, enough of that. And it maintains that subtle smokiness through it all. Do not think peat. Think subtle smokiness. It's not, it's subtle. Score. I haven't looked at the score of the other ones before I came out here, and I probably should have, so I keep it in the realm with them. Sometimes that's neither here nor there. I'll give it an 87. I don't really think I can go more than an 87 on that. It's drinkable. I wouldn't mind having it again if somebody offered it to me. I wouldn't turn it down at all. But repurchasing it for myself, no, not happening. There would be a wide variety of malts for that I would be willing to add $15 to, from $30 to $45, that I would rather purchase than this. So, and I would only come up with that extra $15. And it's not to say this isn't a bad product. It's just to say, for me personally, I wouldn't be interested in purchasing again. If I was I had two choices for Valentine's and I really wanted a 750, well, yeah, I'd get this over the Valentine's or something, or basic Valentine's, mind you, or a Passport, or any number of those lesser scotches. I would probably select this, but I can't go over more than that. All right, this is the 8-year-old. Much more fresh, with the grain showing up in the nose. Clearly the grain shows up in the nose. Oh my gosh, now we got the parents showing up to pick up their kids from school, blaring their music. Finish on this one's much longer. This is a medium to long finish. This actually has a decent long finish on it. It's just not a... The beginning of the palate on the 12-year-old, the beginning of the palate where it enters into your mouth, that's the key to this. This is where this one shines. The finish is lacking. This one, the nose tells you what you're going to get. You get the grain. You know what you're going to get. It's subtle. It's not subtle, but it's there. And you're also getting a limited amount of fruitiness and a whole lot of maltiness. You're getting the vanillas with this one. This one's probably bringing more flavors, but this is doing more with less to me. Much shorter finish, albeit the same sourness that we get with this one, but it's expected. My nose has told me what I'm going to get with this. Now my nose don't need to tell me what I'm going to get with this. It doesn't need to tell me, well, you're going to get a sour finish. You don't need to tell me that. But if it's going to give me something I don't expect, give it to me good. Not mediocre. This is giving me what I expect. So, I don't know how to say that other than that way. This is definitely a point or two below that one, though, still. But I think cost-wise, $19 versus $30. I think on a cold day, I could justify this one as well as I could that one. Let's see what happens. Can't hurt to try it. We're about 50-50 on the mixture. See, the grain is not unappealing on that one. I think it's a good grain whiskey they used. I'm probably in that one too. I'm going to assume it's, I don't know. I assume it's the same grain. Normally I like sherry finished scotches, but there's something slightly askew with the finish on that one, the sherry finish. And my palate's too whacked now to make any decent suggestions. I don't really notice I don't see anything different. I'd have to. It might be interesting to put half and half into one of those little barrel projects, just to see what turns out. Leave it in there for a couple months. I got a barrel, but mine leaks anymore too bad. I'd lose half of it before 2 months was up. Oh well. I don't know if that really helped or did anything negative or positive for it in any way doing that. Didn't hurt it, but my palate's a little wonky now. I'll leave it alone. This has went a long time. So remember, the spirit in your glass ain't running from you. Take your time, sip and enjoy it. You'll be better for it if you do, just like all of us are for it. And $30. Roll the dice, see if you like. That's on you. Still for 19 bucks and a pinch. I think this still is a buy. This one, I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure that 4 years did, and a little bit of sherry finish in it, did it a whole lot of favors. I just don't think it did. Anyway, I'll talk to y'all later.